How you doing? Hey girl. Angel coming live from the PHILA period. So let me put my disclaimers up front and forward, okay? I'm not a doctor, no medical school, no accolades, none of them. I am someone who's healed myself. Um, it's been a year and a half without an asthma pump. Yeah. And I'm glad to say I'll be going on vacation in a few months, in 6 months. Asthma free and 94 pounds down, y'all. She did that. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Let me give you the specs. My highest weight, 222. My lowest weight that I accomplished this year, 124. That's a 98-pound difference. I say 94 pounds instead of 98 just because it's more solid. 124 for me was when I was really, really like not eating much. I had a time where I just didn't want to consume much of anything. It just wasn't pleasing for me. So I just did what my body wanted. And I got down to 124. So that's a total of 98-pound difference. So let me tell you how I lost the 94 pounds. So number one, I became aware of myself. I became aware that I was acidic and sick and operating at a very low frequency. I became aware through meditation and exercise and relaxation and exploring myself. So I didn't like that, especially when, I was going through an age of enlightenment. I want to say I was into books. I was surrounded by education, and it wanted me to explore more, it pushed me to explore more. So when I became aware of myself and I was like on this consciousness movement, I'm like, you're a hypocrite. How can you, spread and preach consciousness when you can't even control your weight? And that was how real I was getting with myself. So unless you want someone to be real mean and rude to you about it, you got to get real and truthful with yourself. Number two was a segue after number one. After I became aware of myself, I became aware of the baggage I was holding on to. Bag a lady, you gon' hurt your back. Thank you, Miss Erykah Badu, because that was my song, and that is legit. Carrying all that baggage is gonna hurt you eventually. And when you have baggage that is too much for your mind to handle, it manifests on your body as being overweight. So I decluttered my life and let go a lot of negative emotional bonds. Not just a little old, I'm a text her here and there type of friendship. I had to reevaluate some major family relationships that were draining me. So you have to stay real and humble throughout this process, because you're going to lose a lot of stuff that you might have held near and dear to you previously. It's going to challenge you mentally. So in order to prepare yourself for that mental challenge, please study much. Study Kundalini. Study whatever books that read or speak to you existentially. Just study them. I came across the Kundalini, which I had no idea existed, for 5,000 years longer than the Bible. I say that with the highest regard, but why aren't we sponsoring this stuff? So I found that the chakras relate directly to your physical body. So if, for me, I was operating at a frequency of always getting respiratory diseases, asthma, sinus infections. I think I had ear infections when I was younger that were worse. And when I read into the Kundalini, realizing that the heart chakra is attached to that respiratory area, your lungs. And if your heart has been broken, that directly correlates to your disease. If you've gone through a heartbreak, you most likely have some type of breathing or respiratory disorder. I had to think, North Philly, nah, I ain't got no emotions like that. Like, nah, ain't nobody break this hard. but it was real. From little, if you've grown up in a fatherless home, your heart is broken. You're operating on a broken chakra. So you have to do your best to repair that. I had to declutter, let it go, come to my form of closure and move on. It's not going to, keep me down. And that was my ultimate way of thinking. I can't let these things keep me down. Like, I have to do better. So I came across Dr. Sebi, who changed my life, slapped the table, said, eat your vegetables. Eat a diet that reflects your genome. Duh, I could have had a V8. So when I did that, only after I decluttered my mind and then listened to Dr. Sebi on how to eat an alkaline diet, did the weight just suddenly seem to drop off in rapid succession. So I got comfortable with being uncomfortable, like Jillian Michael says. And again, from little, I was used to standing on my own. I always had to be strong on my own for some reason. And it made this journey even better or easier for me. So I want to be able to reiterate that you have to be able to detach from everything and everyone. Because when you sleep, whose mind are you exploring? Your subconscious, not theirs. You ain't SpongeBob jumping from dream bubble to dream bubble. Unless you're a master of astral projection, then we need to talk. But my point is, it's just you at the end of the night, and you have to be comfortable with you. I internalized my experience and realized I cannot reach for externalities to help me through this. I did this to myself, so I have to repair it. And again, be gentle. I was more rough on myself just because that's who I am. Like, you did this, you fix it, you get through it, and you get better. Because life knocked me down so many times, and I was not able to sit there and feel bad for myself in that moment from childhood on up. Then when I became an aware adult, I had to allow myself to feel those feelings and realize that I had the right to feel those feelings, but not to remain in those feelings to my detriment. Move on, learn from them, and become better. And that's what I did. I went raw. I detoxed like crazy. I should probably show you guys all the stains from oil on the walls. I have to repaint in here. It's just crazy. But I water fasted for 3 days. Then I ate a very light raw food meal, probably like a salad or watermelon with seeds. And then I water fasted again. I legitimately cut out all the crap. Like, I was in my head, like, having a fight with myself. Like, oh, donut, did you say steak? Like, cakes and pies. I wanted it. I was in all of it. Like, my hands was always in some type of bag. And I had an issue. I don't know if it was like a hand-to-mouth motion or I felt comfort in the smells of it. I had to stop that. I had to legitimately tell myself, Angel, no, that donut is going to make you flare. It's not worth it. So it became like a deterrent for me. And I did better. I work out. As you can see, I'm prepared. I've been trying to do this video. I didn't know YouTube was so extensive, so this is an experience for me. But I'm ready to go after I eat again. You gotta eat every time before you go lift heavy weights. I'm prepared to go lift weights. I have to eat a meal though. So work out and try new things. Confuse your body. Don't do the same thing every week. Like, maybe you could do one thing for 3 weeks if you're new at it and then change it. If you're already, used to working out, you can maybe do 2 weeks of something back to back, but you still have to mix it up and then change it after that. Sleep as much as possible, be stress-free, and find out what you love to do and go do that. Okay? Be Neo from the Matrix, dodging all the hate, dodging all the negativity, because they're going to laugh and snicker at you for trying to be natural, cutting your natural hair, trying to cinch your waist. But then when 2 years later you have the waist, they're going to ask you, how'd you get the waist? Like, weren't you just laughing at me for not eating pork, bro? Like, so just cut the ruckus, cut the static, find inner peace. I'm here for you. You can do it, and we'll talk soon.